actually show some videos because I was actually a little curious after I read this post right here. And this is about Ilhan Omar. Okay. And let's just go ahead and read this post, and then I'm going to show the other two videos I believe that I have after. So this one person, when it said, "This is Ahmed Nur said Elmi." He is Representative Ilhan Omar's full brother. Ilhan Omar legally married him in 2009. She later divorced him in 2017. She married him to break U.S. immigration law and defraud America.
Made a few years ago, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar tried to knock it down by calling it absurd. Then when the media turned up a wedding certificate, Omar went silent, refusing to make any comments at all, saying she does not talk about her family or personal life. Well, now others are talking, like Abdulhakim Osman, a prominent member of the Minneapolis Somali community, who is now on the record telling the Daily Mail that in 2009, Ilhan Omar married her biological brother, Ahmed Saeed Almi, so that he could legally remain in the U.S. and attend college. At the time, Omar was married to Ahmed Hersey, but it was a religious marriage, meaning there was no Minnesota state record stating that she and Hersey were husband and wife, and so marrying her brother would allow her sibling to get his legal immigration documents. But Mr. Osman isn't just saying that Omar married her biological brother. He also gave the Daily Mail the name of the Christian minister who married them. That minister reportedly says she does not want to be involved or interviewed about Congresswoman Omar.
Let's go and look at some of these comments before I go and pop it over to the next thing. One person said Congress should censor and then impeach. She should be booted out of Congress. Deport her arse. They says Ilhan needs to be removed from Congress immediately, stripped from her naturalization, returned to Somalia. Fraud to obtain citizenship is ground for losing your naturalization. You know what messes me up? The GOP could have investigated this and taken appropriate action to get her out, but they did not. Why are there enough Somalians in Minnesota to vote her in office anyways? I wouldn't agree with that at all. Now, the next video I'm going to show is not about the incest marriage thing or anything like that. It's just mostly about her advocating for Somalians to illegally be here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that.
xildhibaanad Ilhan Omar oo dhowaan la hadashay saxaafadda ayaa talo bixin siisay dadka sharciga aan haysan ee ku nool dalkan.
waxaan ula talinayaa dadka Soomaalida ah haddii ay maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg ice ay isku dayaan inay ku su'aalaan muku qasban tihid inaad su'aalahooda aad ka jawaabtid waxaad dhihi kartaa lawyer aan i advice garay inaanan ku jawaabin qasab ma aha magacaaga iyo sharciga ku joogtid iyo waxaas oo dhan iisaa ku imaataybo inaad kala hadashid marka baro sharciyada iskuna diyaari in aad maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg aadan dadkaaniiti aadan u sheegin information aadan rabin inay ogaadaan.
Now, you know, my whole stance on this whole immigration thing, and of course there's many layers to it, but just on the surface of it, I just feel like this: if I have to pay taxes, I mean, I'm legal, okay, but if I have to follow certain rules, I feel that you also should have to follow certain rules. So one of them is your status and you actually being here. So what I mean by that is, if I have to, as a citizen, follow certain rules and laws and regulations, pay your taxes, do this, do that, whatever the case may be, I think it's only fair for you. You know, and here's the thing. I like to look at things, and of course every country is different, but I kind of like to look at things like on a global level. Like when people say America's so great, but it's like, well, if you compare us to developed nations, right, G7 nations or anything like that, you see that they have universal health care, but we don't. So how are you the greatest nation if you can't even afford health care. Sorry, not that you can't afford, you don't want to give people universal health care so that they can be able to save money, so that they can be able to get the proper medications, the surgeries, procedures done. So when I look at that kind of stuff, this is what I think about in this regard. Um, just with that, with certain, chemicals and dyes that are within your food, your drinks, etc. I look at that kind of stuff as well. So, I look at all these kind of things in more of a global stance, and I keep bringing it up. It's a dream of mine. But when I go and look at like even Germany or Russia, I've seen plenty of travel videos for these two places in particular, because these are the main ones I really want to go to. Everything else secondary. I really want to go to these. But when I go and look and I see, like for Russia, for example, they go and say, yeah, the police officers can stop you legally if you don't look like you're from there. Now, people say, oh, well, that's different because over there it's majority white people. They got the Mongolian blood, so the Asians, white. Okay, that's what that is over there, though. America, we have Indian, white, black, Asian, Somalian, which is black, really. And you have a lot of variations of different people, so that's different, which I can understand that. But at the end of the day, if they look and say, you don't like you're supposed to be here, can I see your papers? No one's saying you gotta walk around with your passport all up in the air. Okay, no one's saying you gotta do that. But you should have documentation. And every adult should have your ID with you. I remember when I was working at Amazon campus, where it was a pickup and drop off for packages and whatnot, your Amazon stuff, right? Got the locker situation. Y'all, I literally lost count on how many times I had a customer come up, say, hey, I need my package or whatever. They didn't do the sign in barcode thing on the phone with the locker, and then it opens up the locker. They put in their email and all that, and they wanted me to go in the back, grab their package, and then give it to them as opposed to put in the locker. So then I say, okay, well, that's fine. I need to see some ID. And then they go and say, I don't have my ID on me. And then I say, well, I'm denying you service because that's the procedure. You have to have your ID. I mean, you could be anybody. You know what I mean? You could have gotten anyone's random email. You could have gotten my email, put it in there, and then I just gave you my package. I was like, well, you have to have your ID. And then they're like, oh, well, I mean, just give me the package. Same thing here. Well, can I check your papers? Just let me be here. I mean, come on now. No, it's not the same. Okay, yeah, of course, different comparisons, but you get the point. You can't just be here just because you want to be here, and especially with ICE, they're going to certain communities where they know, okay, they know that y'all are condensed in these certain pockets and y'all ain't from here. Okay, and for you to be a representative to go and say, oh, well, just evade them, tell them that you're not giving them this kind of information because they don't need to know it, right? Just tell them that you're not going to give them this. Just say that you consulted a lawyer so we could try to stay here. But I guess I'm confused as to why you all think that that's why do you think that's an acceptable approach to be having in this regard? So that's the issue that I have really with that. But let's go and look at some of the comments. So someone says, how is this not illegal? That's what I'm saying. Omar is committing a federal crime by doing this under 8 U.S.C. 1324. It's against federal law to shield or help concealed in any form the detention of illegal aliens by immigration authorities. Let me know what you all think about this down below.